February 6, 1958, a date forever etched in football's memory. A day when the world of sport was brought to its knees, not by a final whistle, but by the unthinkable. Manchester United's Busby Babes, an exciting, young, fearless squad built by the legendary Sir Matt Busby, were on the brink of greatness. They had just beaten Red Star Belgrade to reach the European Cup semi-finals. Europe was theirs for the taking. The players, full of life and promise, boarded British European Airways Flight 609 in Munich after a refueling stop. They were heading home. They never made it. As the plane attempted to take off from a slush-covered runway, disaster struck. 2 failed attempts, then a third. But this time, the aircraft couldn't lift. It skidded, crashed through a fence, and slammed into a house. Flames engulfed the wreckage, and just like that, one of football's greatest teams was gone. 8 Manchester United players lost their lives that day. Duncan Edwards, Roger Byrne, Eddie Coleman, Mark Jones, David Pegg, Tommy Taylor, Liam Whelan, and Jeff Bent. Talented young men, many in their early 20s, destined for footballing immortality. Edwards, just 21, was already seen as England's future captain. Some say he could have been the greatest of all time. We'll never know. Manager Sir Matt Busby was critically injured, fighting for his life in a Munich hospital. Twice, he was read his last rites. But he survived. And somehow, against all odds, so did Bobby Charlton, Harry Gregg, and Bill Folkes, men who carried the scars, both seen and unseen, for the rest of their lives. United were shattered. The football world was in mourning. How do you even begin to rebuild after something like this? Yet out of the darkest of days, Busby, once recovered, did just that. He built a new United, a United that 10 years later would rise from the ashes to lift the European Cup in 1968, led by the survivors, Charlton and Folkes. The Munich air disaster wasn't just a tragedy for Manchester United, it was a tragedy for football, a reminder that the game, for all its glory, is never bigger than life itself. Glory, glory, Man United.